Hello and welcome to Quick Tip 66. In this quick tip, what I want to do is answer the question that occurs quite frequently. Why are the values I'm seeing in Radarscreen different from the values that I'm seeing on a chart for the same settings, the same program, etc. So to illustrate this, we've got two programs. One of them is an exponential moving average, the other is a moving average, and I have those applied to a chart and to Radarscreen, as you can see. So first of all, let's look at the exponential moving average. So if we go to the program, and I'm going to open up this exponential moving average program. So what I've done, I've got basically the standard exponential moving average, only I've added a little bit of further information here. So if the program is applied to a chart, we can detect that by using get app info AI application type. If that is equal to 1, then we're going to print this string here, including the max bars back setting and the date and time. Similarly, if it's on Radarscreen, we're going to print this, indicating it's on Radarscreen, and again the max bars back. We're also going to be adding some text to the chart with the number, the bar number, and we'll talk about that more later. And then the plots are the exponential moving average and the close. So if we look at the exponential moving average, I'm right-clicking that, and I'm opening the function. You'll see that the way that this thing works is it takes for the first bar, it takes the price, but for bars after that, what it does, it takes the value of itself, the previous bar, and then adds to that a smoothing factor multiplied by the price of the current bar minus the exponential moving average of the previous bar. And we call this sort of program an accumulative type program. So if we look at the chart and we just go back to when this was first applied, you'll see that if we detect what the value of the exponential moving average is there, the program is saying it is 3209.61. If you look also what the close of the symbol was for that bar, it's exactly the same, and that's because that is the first bar. And that actually is not the exponential moving average. It's just an approximation. And the next bar isn't either. It's a little bit closer, but again, it's not the actual value. And we have to go through quite a few bars, over 900 in this case, until the value actually becomes very close or becomes close to the actual value of the exponential moving average. So we can apply this. It will run from bar 1, no problem, but it's just that those values converge to become the real value over time. Now, in terms of Radarscreen, that can present a problem because the way that Radarscreen works is if you don't set it to do otherwise, it will just literally try and calculate things on the current bar, which would not be very good in terms of the exponential moving average. So I'm just going to go to studies here, and I'm going to say edit studies for all symbols. And you'll notice that we have a couple of things that we can change. One of them is the maximum number of bars study will reference, and the other one is load additional bars. Now these two settings do cause, or at least cause me, some confusion, so it's a good idea to get these clear. Now you'll see in the case of the EMA, I've set the maximum number of bars study will reference to be 1. That does not need to be a big number, but what we do need to do is load additional bars for cumulative calculations, and that means that the value that we're seeing here on Radarscreen is the value after having done the calculation over those 1,000 bars. And if you review the value here, in fact, let's just go back to the end of the chart again. If you review what the value is at the moment on the chart, 388.99, you'll see that that is the same value. So let's just go back to the settings for quick tip. So this type of thing is required for an cumulative calculation. In other words, a calculation which is using the value of the previous bar, which used the value of the previous bar, which used the value of the previous bar. Now the other type of situation is like we have with the simple average. First of all, let's just check the values are the same. So 3388.18, 3388.18. That is good. Now this is a moving average. I'm going to look at the program. So here we have it, and I'm going to say edit easy language. And you'll see that we're just using the standard average function. Now if we right click on that and open the function, we're going to get called to summation, which is another function. And if we right click summation and open that function, we'll see what's actually happening here in the calculation. And what we're doing is we're going from the current bar and we're counting backwards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. all the way to 200, or rather 199 because it's the length minus 1. And we're just summing up all those values as part of the calculation. That means that if we look at the chart, you'll see that at the start of the chart, the program doesn't actually start calculating until it's actually got 200 bars to calculate with. So if we just go to the right, you'll see that the program finally has enough data to do that calculation because it needs 200 bars when it gets to bar 200. So how does that affect the Radarscreen? Well, Radarscreen, if we go to this program study and we go edit studies, quick tip average, you'll see that what we've now done is we've had to tell it the maximum number of bars studied for reference. In other words, this is the equivalent to those bars at the beginning of the chart. But in terms of loading additional data, we do not need additional data loaded, because as soon as we've got those 200 bars, the value that it calculates will be accurate. Incidentally, it's not required for this in this case, but if you are using the program that requires cumulative calculations, you can see an estimate of the amount of data that you're going to need to increase, or rather to set as those load additional bars. Well, I hope you found this useful. If you're not part of the Markplex email list, then please go to markplex.com and join the email list. Also subscribe to this video service, and I will then be sure to let you know when I create new free tutorials, quick tips, or programs. Thank you very much.